Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the NFL Sunday Morning Show right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. I'm here with my guys, James from Steelers by the Lake Podcast and Nikki Steves from the 3 Point Blitz and the NFL Pick'em Tuesday night. How you guys doing? And Big C will be here momentarily.
Very nice, man. Doing well. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. I just have one of those ideas, this morning when you have an idea and you just gotta run with it.
Okay.
So that's what happened to me, and I'm just gonna announce it now. Screw it. There's gonna be a new show on the network called the Mitch Kofsky Show. So it's just gonna be a one-man show I'm doing. I'm gonna be covering NBA, WWE, NFL, just a recorded thing right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. So it's gonna be an idea I had this morning. I'm like, gotta run with it. So.
I like it, man. Just covering whatever topics you want to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to talk about everything else. What is up, Chad? What is up? What is up, everybody? Football Talk with Bo will be here next week. He forgot he had to do something this morning. So let's get right into it. Big C, whenever you're ready. Yeah, he's just adding in channels to it. Let's just get right into it. Starting off with the breaking news. I was waiting for Big C to get in here, but they fired his GM. They actually fired the GM of the Miami Dolphins. So whenever you want, you're gonna have your whenever you're ready to talk. Let's start off with James on that. How do you feel about it, man? Miami fired their general manager. How do you feel?
You had to figure some changes were coming there. I'll kind of leave it to the expertise of Big C as to who the blame lies more on, whether it's on the team building side of things or on the coaching side of things. But they needed change. There's no question about that. So moving on from a general manager is a pretty logical thing when a team's falling apart. I feel like you usually see the coach first, but I don't know. I'm very interested on Big C's take on this for sure.
Yeah, Nikki, let me turn off the chat here so we can see it. Hey, Nikki, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, let the cleanup phase begin. Obviously, I mean, as far as who's actually the bigger blame, I'll let Big C talk about that one. But I will say this: the GM's not the only problem. And it's funny. I remember back when Adam Gase first came in, when he got fired on Black Monday, with Urinating Tree did a video saying that they fail to realize the real culture change comes at the top. And I think maybe now the Miami Dolphins are either A, getting their first hint on it, or they're just looking to cut out some of the pieces that have been there for a while. But they're starting to clean house. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm. All right, Big C, man, how's it going? You had a big week. Your GM got canned. So how do you feel about that, man?
Thank God. Listen, this was overdue, long overdue. This guy's been in control of, I think this is the third rebuild that he's been in control of, over 10 years as the Dolphins general manager. I talked to my audience about how many GMs in the four major sports in North America would get this many opportunities to rebuild a franchise with no success. He's been a part of the franchise for over 25 years and been the general manager for 10. And in the last 25 years, we have no playoff wins. Right. So, I mean, people are calling for Mike McDaniel's head and Tua Tagovailoa's head, but we can only do with what we have on the field. And Chris Grier never gave us a complete roster. At some point, he always neglected a key area. This year, it was the defensive backs. Last year, it was the offensive line. And even so, the offensive line this year. So if Mike McDaniel and Tua don't have a complete team, how do you expect upper-end results? So Chris Grier absolutely needed to go. He's the first puzzle piece. I'd be interested to see what happens next. Tua has a huge contract still. You're not just able to move off him. If you try to move off him, release him, next year, it's a $99 million hit. That's unbearable in my eyes. And you're going to bring in another coach. You're going to hire a new coach you're going to handcuff him with Tua. You know what I mean? Say, oh, Tua's got to be your quarterback. No. So I feel like the Dolphins might be leaning towards keeping Mike McDaniel and Tua for one more year and trying to find the next general manager, whoever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think your head coach is going to stay? Like, when is that going to happen? Like, end of the year, he's staying, and then start fresh in the following offseason?
I mean, I think there's a chance. Stephen Ross really likes Mike McDaniel. I think Thursday night was it wasn't necessarily that Mike McDaniel did a bad job of coaching. It's not necessarily that Tua Tagovailoa did a bad job at being the quarterback. It was the Baltimore Ravens were a more talented franchise, and we're relying on fourth, fifth string players because that's the way that Chris Grier set this roster up to be, and those players made mistakes in key moments. We have a offsides by a right tackle that shouldn't probably even be in the league. You know, Larry Borum. We miss a field goal. Fumbles by Malik Washington and Taj Washington. Taj Washington probably shouldn't even be playing. You know what I mean? This guy is a fifth, sixth, seventh receiver, and he's in there in crucial moments of a football game, fumbling inside our own 10. So I think more so Tua Tagovailoa and Mike McDaniel, in short, showed us that if we have a competent offense, a competent defense, a competent roster, these guys can win you football games. And Chris Grier just failed to consistently give us that.
Yeah. Your Dolphins did not exactly have the best of years. So it's just like, gotta start somewhere. Why not get rid of the main guy and go right from there? The Eagles fans been down that road many times with Howie Roseman before this whole thing, before us winning Super Bowls and stuff like that. So,
well, there's no real rush to move on from Mike McDaniel or Tua, but there was kind of a rush to move on from Chris Grier because the trade deadline's approaching. And, Stephen Ross makes the comment that the status quo is not going to be good enough, and that if you guys ain't winning, you guys probably aren't keeping your jobs. So how do you tell your general manager to trade away talented pieces that are going to help you win this year? You know what I mean? And explain to him that, yeah, you're probably getting fired because you're losing, but I want you to trade away your best players. So you need a new general manager that can come in and make moves for you. And that's why that move was made first, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it was definitely the right move there. And you're not the only team that made moves. The Philadelphia Eagles made 2 trades during their bye week, and we got 2 corners. So I'm going to start with Nikki. How do you feel about the corners we got? Michael Carter and Jair Alexander.
I love the fact that Howie was being aggressive toward the trade deadline, trying to get some new pieces as far as they go. Michael Carter, it's not going to be a slam dunk necessarily. It's not going to be a home run hit. Shout out to the Dodgers winning another World Series. And as I was saying, though, with Michael Carter, we've seen the flashes of potential with the Jets. Mm-hmm. He did have an injury, and there's the possibility with him as a slot, he could be a good slot because we definitely need that number 2 corner because Adoree Jackson and Kelee Ringo were not cutting it at that number 2. And that was our biggest weakness through the first half of the season. So there's some potential for this to work out. And at least with Kelee Ringo, it's got to be an upgrade. Jair Alexander, it's a great name. It sounds really flashy, but there is the injury concerns as well. So
yeah,
that's one of those low risk, low reward type of deals with Jair Alexander. You're hoping that, hey, when he comes back, that he'll have some time to study the playbook and he'll at least be a filler to help out for the season. But I think Howie's looking at Alexander more as a temporary fill-in for a desperate position need now. Then maybe during the offseason, they're going to look for a real number 2 corner as a replacement. So I feel like that's, and even in Michael Carter's case, that's one of those, okay, maybe with a new start. But even then, I'm thinking it's more just both cases, it's a temporary need. I feel like Carter being the younger, there's potential he could come back in the long term, but we still got to wait and see what happens first. But this is more of a temporary, fill that position in need. You have a lot of talent on the roster. You can afford to get aggressive and take risk with these trades. Now we just got to wait and see how it plays out. But the best part is you got a bye week to get these guys adjusted to the Eagles and then see where they go from there, starting with the Packers on Monday night.
James, how do you feel like the trades for the Eagles went?
I mean, you guys have been talking since we were talking in the offseason about trying to fill that corner number 2 spot. So obviously the attempts didn't work like you had hoped. Even as recent as the last couple of weeks, you guys were joking around about, can we get Slay back? So it's obvious that that's been a need for your Eagles. And the only bad move is not making a move, in my opinion. If you've got a need at that position, throw some darts. Obviously nobody's looking to get rid of all pros this time of year, unless they're just going to a complete rebuild. But you got to try. You got to try, especially if you have any serious aspirations of playoff hopes. Otherwise, teams are just going to target that one weak spot and go after it over and over and over. And you can't have a glaring Achilles heel, especially on a defense that was so good the year previous.
All right, Big C, how do you feel about the Eagle trades?
I like the Jair Alexander one. I wish the Miami Dolphins would have made a move on Jair Alexander when he was a free agent. I think if healthy, he can be still a valuable asset. At the very least, a top tier number 2 corner if he can stay healthy. So I like that move. I hear the Eagles are fishing around for Jalen Phillips too from the Miami Dolphins. So
that's one of the names too. And the Eagles are apparently looking at Myles Garrett now. Apparently. So I'm fine with it. If the Eagles could get Myles Garrett, I'll do whatever it takes. But I don't think he's getting moved. I don't think Myles Garrett's getting moved at all. Do you guys think that? You think Myles Garrett's going to be on the move after what happened with him smashing the helmet on the ground? I doubt it. I doubt it. He's not going anywhere.
Eat too much of his contract. It's a $40 million contract. Nobody's got that much money laying around under their cap right now. So, realistically, if he does get traded, I think that's an off-season trade, not a during the season. Because teams would have to cut 5 or 6 guys just to make enough cap space to get him on their team.
And how fair is that anyway? If he were to go to the Eagles, like, come on,
But here's the thing: like Michael Carter, I don't know if you mentioned this, Nikki. He took a $5 million pay cut to come here. Like he did not want to stay where he was at. So what if Myles Garrett is like, you know what? I'm going to take some money. I want to get out of this dump and go somewhere else. Is that a possibility? Because let's be honest, Cleveland Browns stink. So that's why he wanted all the money, so he would get everything he would want and then bounce out. So could he take a pay cut? Maybe.
Could he? Yeah. I don't think that's who he is, to be honest with you.
It's not. It's not. I'm just
time after time.
He's just I'm just like, here, do something.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think either. But wants to leave the Browns at all. All right, Chad. I think he will. You don't think he will leave? All right. Whatever.
I don't think Cleveland's that far off. I don't think Cleveland's that far off. If they could get something going on offense, they could be a good team. They got a top-rated defense. If they could score more than 13 points a game, they'd be all right.
Yeah. And let's be real, that team really loaded up on draft picks for next season. So this upcoming NFL draft, the Browns have a crap load of picks, including 2 first-rounders. So they're likely to take a swing at quarterback again and get some more good pieces to build around some of those guys they got this year. So I think they hit on a few of these picks in the draft, which are going to really help them in certain areas. But
so do you think they should give Shedeur? Do you think they should give Shedeur even a look before they go and draft another quarterback? I mean,
you give him a shot, sure. I would say the way the season's going, why would you not let him start a few games and show what he's got? But also being a 5th round pick, I wouldn't necessarily expect that to be the guy to turn the franchise around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but 5th round pick. I mean, they were talking about him being a top 10 pick. You know what I mean?
For me, it's just like you gotta give Shedeur Sanders a look. You got to, with all this hype behind him. Everyone's looking forward to play. He would definitely fill out seats with that name, and everyone's supporting him. You got to give him something. You got to let him play, even though it's the last couple games of the season. If you want to just like toss him out there and see what he can do, I'm fine with it. Nikki, what about you? Should the Browns let Shedeur play a couple games?
Absolutely, they should, because ultimately he had more hype than Dylan Gabriel from the start.
Right.
The fact that he fell that far, it was an overreaction by the NFL out of the concerns of him being Dion's kid, him having the ego. And
collusion.
At this point, what do you have to? I mean, yes, I understand he does have a bit of a cocky side, but come on. How many football players do? Not to get off subject with the current situation, but to tie that back in. At this point, if you're the Browns, Shedeur was the more hyped prospect anyway. And what do you have to lose by giving him a shot, seeing how much of a dumpster fire you are team-wise? What's the worst thing that could happen? You lose more games to get a higher draft pick?
That's kind of it, really, is the worst case scenario is you march him out there, he stinks it up, and then you have no value as far as trying to trade him to another team, too. So, like, the only plus side to me of never putting him on the field is that there could be some value in attempting to trade him to another team at this stage. If he goes out there and plays horrible, you have no value in attempting to trade him. But you can't let that be the reason you don't give the kid a shot. He's on your team. You didn't bring him in because you thought he had no talent. Obviously, you believe he has some talent. The only way to find out how much it is to let him play.
Yeah, and I'm with Bobby here. The Cleveland Browns, that's an organization, it's a train wreck. Yeah, I think we all can agree on that, especially James here. He definitely agrees on that.
Yeah, I've had a front row seat for a long time.
yeah, well, so let's just get right into MVP MVP talks. If you guys had to pick one MVP right now for the NFL, who would it be? Because I got a pick that not a lot of people are gonna expect, so I'm gonna go last on that one. So whoever wants to take it first, take it. Chat, you too. Who do you feel is the MVP as of right now? Whoever wants to take it.
Oh, I'll go with this one. I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor for the Colts.
Okay.
Because think about it, he's week in and week out having great performances. And with all due respect to Daniel Jones, but Jonathan Taylor is playing a crucial role in Daniel Jones' resurgence. All that great running he's been doing week in and week out is helping play a role in A, wearing down defenses to open the pass game, and B, taking the pressure off Daniel Jones. And that's another factor that plays into his success. He doesn't have that same pressure he had on him with the Giants behind that offensive line where he had to run for his life every play. Now he's got a running back that helps out make his job easier by wearing down the defense. He's got a more competent offensive line. But really, with all due respect to Jones, I'd still say Jonathan Taylor is the number one highlight of that offense. Because you look week in, week out, he's the main guy leading the way with first downs and getting the Colts downfield to score. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor as the MVP thus far.
All right. Not quarterback. I like it. James.
I'm actually going to go Baker Mayfield here. I feel like the way Baker's playing this year, he's just kind of stepped his game up a whole nother level again. And not to mention, this team is really beat up right now. They have most of their starting offensive line is out and has been out. And he's still putting up ridiculous numbers and has this team 6-2. with basically a situation where he's had games he's gotten sacked like 8-9 times and still winning the game. So he's keeping his cool. He's got 13 touchdowns to only 2 picks, which is one heck of a ratio. So I think Baker's playing out of his mind and really carrying that team. And once the rest of it gets healthy around him, that could be a pretty serious, dangerous team come playoff time if these guys are able to get healthy and come back around him. So I think Baker should get some real serious consideration this year.
Mm-hmm. Big C, what about you?
I'm gonna say Patrick Mahomes. He's been sneaky good. 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And then what he's able to do on the ground, he might be Kansas City's leading rusher. Listen, he's been phenomenal. Him and Matthew Stafford. Typically running backs don't make it. Jonathan Taylor's a great choice, obviously. Baker's played out of his mind too. But I think Matthew Stafford and Patrick Mahomes are the top 2 quarterbacks in my eyes. I'm giving the nod to Patrick Mahomes for what he's able to do on the ground, though.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I got a couple in mind, but David in the chat stole my thunder. So I'm gonna go with Drake May here from the New England Patriots. I mean, he took that team from obscurity into something, and I feel like if they keep on going with this, Drake May could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league once in a couple years. But as of right now, they're a good team because of Drake May and what he's been doing out there on the field. So thanks, David. You stole my thunder on that one. Anyways, yeah. So for right now, you guys will like this question. I talked to Nikki about this before we went live. So if you guys could bring one player back from your team's history, who would you bring back? And it depends on the position of need. Like for the Eagles example, we would bring back like a CB2 or an edge rusher or someone that could definitely help depending on your fit. So I'm going to go first on this one here. Nikki, you know who I'm going to go with? I don't think you do.
I have an idea.
Who you got? Who do you think I'm going with?
A defensive player.
It's not a defensive player.
Okay.
I'll just tell you. For the wide receiver 3 spot, give me Deshaun Jackson. Because with that being said, the deep threat, the speed, it's definitely better than Jahan Dotson, I'll tell you. So I'm going to go with Deshaun Jackson for the wide receiver 3. Imagine that. Imagine Deshaun Jackson next to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith right there. I'll take that.
Yeah, another receiver, your quarterback, don't get the ball to.
Hey, once you can do the end arounds with Deshaun Jackson, give me that. I'm fine with that. I think one another speedster for this offense. So, Nikki, who are you going with? I think I know who you're going with.
I'm going to go with someone that in this scenario would be a definite lock to improve the secondary. I'm going to go with Troy Vincent.
There you go.
That was my backup. That was my second one.
I was torn between him and Eric Allen, but I went with Vincent because I feel like realistically he'd fit a little bit more in the modern era because he's closer to it than Eric Allen. And
True.
Troy Vincent was an excellent defensive back for the Eagles during that rebuild in the early Andy Reid years. And he really helped pave the way so that way when Lito, Shepard, and Sheldon Brown were the young
he was a
stars
Dolphin
ready
first.
to take over. Move on. And we stole him from Finn. So that's a big plus too. Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Even during the rebuild years, Vincent and him and a young Brian Dawkins were the main two. Even that 98 season, they were two of the best pieces in an otherwise dreadful season for the Eagles. I know he would definitely be an upgrade for over Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, or any of those guys that we have on our roster. Even with all due respect, not to put down the guys we just got, but he would even be an upgrade over Jair Alexander and Michael Carter, with all due respect to them.
Right. Big C, what about you? Which Dolphin would you bring back?
I mean, this is the easiest question in the world. Dan Marino. I mean,
I knew
Yeah, I
it.
kind of figured that. Kind of figured that, man. Easiest
there's a
one.
few people
So,
you could choose. We need offensive line help. You could bring Ricky Williams back, Zach Thomas. There's numerous players you could bring back from Dolphins history, but obviously we're in the market for a quarterback. We don't got a quarterback that can get the job done. Why not bring back one of the greatest to ever do it? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I was gonna say that one for you. That was an easy one. James.
It's a tough one for me because I feel like it has to be
It is.
defense. That's where all the holes are on the team right now.
Yeah.
But how do I pick just one position when so many of them are playing bad right now?
Right.
It comes down to me between a couple of guys. I feel like they need a corner in the worst way because it's just not working out with Darius Slay at all. Dude's not tackling. He can't run with anybody. It's just kind of embarrassing out there. But
Oh, cool. We don't need him back then.
No, you don't want him back. But safety play has been a problem too. Deshaun Elliott was the only bright spot, and then he went down with a knee injury. He's on the injured reserve now. They did trade for Kyle Duggar this week, so maybe that'll help out. But I think, honestly, I'd have to go Mel Blount. And Mel Blount, because he was an absolute lockdown corner who changed the game. They created pass interference because of how physical he was, because he used to just beat the crap out of every wide receiver he went against because he was 6'4" and fast. And back in the 70s, that was just unheard of. But honestly, they need the physicality right now. They need somebody to set the tone. They need somebody that'll go out there and make people scared of them, which just doesn't exist on this defense right now. They're playing soft as hell. Although I probably am more of a fan of Rod Woodson. I'd love to bring Rod back. He could play corner or safety for you. I think Troy Polamalu would make an enormous change in this defense if he were back. But you need that defensive player that somebody would fear. And Mel Blount was that dude for wide receivers. And honestly, his physicality, how he played back then, he could play with those physical dudes now.
Honestly, I thought you would bring back Troy Polamalu just for his hair, so he can do all those head and shoulders ads. I thought you would do that.
I mean, I could really use his help in the hair department, no doubt. And he could cover everything, He could cover for a lot of mistakes on deficiencies of what you have on your team. But honestly, when push came to shove, like when they lost the Super Bowl to the Green Bay Packers, all Aaron Rodgers did was throw wherever Troy Polamalu wasn't. So you got to have some good corners or you're going to get toasted.
So Chad said Joe Green for his. That's the player he would bring back. And Vic said Rod Woodson.
Yeah.
So a couple of those Steelers guys. Reggie White. That was one of mine too for the Eagles if I pick on the defensive side. But wanted to go a different route. So yeah. Now we're gonna talk about the game of is this the game of the week, the Chiefs and Bills? Is that the game of the week? Pretty much, right?
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
So let's go more in depth with this game. Who do you think will be a dark horse for like a standout player in this game? Like a player you wouldn't expect. So we're gonna start off with James on this one. If there was one player on either team that would be out of the blue, to be like, oh, he had a great game today.
I mean, I don't know how much production they're getting out of their tight end room so far this year. So that might be something that could be kind of a dark horse is they get a big game out of Dalton Kincaid. I haven't paid real close attention to how good he's been this year, but I know the talent's definitely there. I just don't see it out of their wide receiver core, any of those guys just stepping up and being remarkable. And we can't really say it would be a surprise if it was James Cook because he's been playing out of his mind this year. So I'll go if there's a dark horse, I'll go Dalton Kincaid for the Bills.
All right, Nikki.
Maybe with the Bills' defense at times having some struggles, maybe Tyquan Thornton could surprise. I don't remember the person there, but Thornton could maybe have a bit of a surprise game, have a few maybe not like a great game, but maybe have 5-6 receptions, close to 70 yards or something, maybe a touchdown. That could help make a difference in the outcome of the game, and that would certainly exceed expectations. That could be a dark horse within that definition of exceeding expectations and being that kind of X factor difference maker in the offense.
Looks like we might have lost Mitch for a second. Big C, what about you? What's your dark horse for this game?
Can one of the Kansas City running backs do something? The Buffalo Bills are ranked 31st in rushing defense, but Kansas City doesn't seem to want to run the football with their running backs. So I would love to see Pacheco or Kareem Hunt or somebody get a run game going against this Buffalo Bills and really attack the weakness of their defense. But they just failed to do it. Like Patrick Mahomes got 280 yards rushing and 4 rushing touchdowns this year. That might be the leading rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. So I'd like to see Kareem Hunt or Pacheco do something against this 31st ranked rush defense for the Buffalo Bills.
You're not far off. Pacheco only has 329, so he's barely got more than Mahomes, which is kind of embarrassing, really. You know, I mean,
Mahomes is not known as like a running quarterback. Like, does he get outside the pocket and get you some? Yeah, but like he's not. We're not talking Lamar Jackson here or anything. You know what I mean? Like, so for him to be that close.
Yeah, I feel like Mahomes is an incredible scrambler, but not like a running quarterback. And there's a big difference between the two. When the pocket breaks down, that dude will find any weakness to go get 7 or 8 yards.
But at the end of the game, he'd be having 40, 50 yards every game.
Yeah, you're dang right he does. He's very, very skilled at it. He's sneaky athletic. You know what they always say about like those white slot wide receivers? He's a sneaky athlete. I feel like Mahomes is a sneaky athlete. He's a better athlete than people give him credit for.
It doesn't even look like he'd be running. It'd just be like if you're trying to walk across the kitchen floor when it's cold.
Yeah, it's like he's in a speed walking competition or something.
All right. So, wait, Big C, did you name a player that was a dark horse?
Yeah, I said either Pacheco or what's the other running back? Kareem Hunt. I'd like to see them because Bills got 31st ranked rush defense.
So for me, I'm actually. Is James Cook considered a dark horse or no?
I'd say.
Huh?
I'd say
he's
no,
one of the only 2 offensive weapons they have. So
I know. The only reason I'm saying that is because I have him on my fantasy team. That's the only reason I'm saying that. So yeah, I'm gonna go James Cook on that one for fantasy sake. But actually, it could fit right. Who would your player of the game be? I'm pretty sure everyone will pretty much take either Mahomes or Allen for the player of the game here. If you had to pick one player, who would it be? Whoever wants to take it, take it. What is up, AK? Shout out to you, who's actually in the chat right now.
I could see one of the wide receivers going off. I mean, Mahomes spreads the ball out pretty well. But I could see a monster game out of Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy. If he held a gun to my head, I guess I'll just take Rashee Rice because I feel like he's been really playing real well since he came back.
That was actually mine. Rashee Rice is actually mine. All right, Nikki?
I was going to go Rashee Rice too, so I'll keep it short.
Big C, who you got?
I'm going to say Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt gets multiple rushing touchdowns in this game.
All right. So Rashee Rice and Kareem Hunt. There we go. All right. So which one of the games will be your upset of the week? Which game? Let me pull up the schedule here. Give me 1 second. I actually don't even know the slate of games today. It's kind of hard when your team has a bye week today. All right, got that. Hey, here we go. I hate the share the screen process here. I hate it. Give me something easier, StreamYard. All right, here we go. Who's the upset? And in the Monday night game, we got the Cardinals at the Cowboys. That's the Monday night game. So, who's the upset of the week? Nikki, I'm going to go with you.
Upset of the week.
I think I know where you're going with, but I'm going to wait and see who you got.
I'm gonna go. Wait, what are the odds? Right, they're the favorite. I'm not gonna go with it.
Give me which game do you want, and I'll click on it. All right, we're gonna come back to you, James. Who you got?
All right.
I'll take the Giants.
I was gonna go with the Giants.
I'm just screwing everything up for you today, Mitch.
I gotta back up. So you're going with the Giants?
Yeah, the Niners are pretty banged up, so I feel like at some point in time the wheels are going to fall off of this thing for them. And I know the Giants are getting a little beat up too, but I feel like Jackson Dart really kind of brought some life back into that team. So I'll give them a shot today.
I'm gonna go with. I got it. I'm gonna go with the Cardinal NFC East jinx to reign supreme on Monday night between the Cardinals and Cowboys.
That was my backup. Stop taking my team. God damn. All right, Pixie, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Falcons over the Patriots. I know the Falcons looked bad last time when they played Miami, but they had the number one pass defense. They should be able to run the ball. Michael Penix should be back. The Patriots are still a young team that can have slip ups. So I'm going to take Atlanta.
All right. So both of my teams are taken. So I'm going to try to find a third one now. Is that no? That's not necessarily. I'm not going Tennessee. No, that is out. I'm not going Carolina. That is out. Why am I thinking Houston? I'm thinking Houston against Denver because I think CJ Stroud could go off and have a game. So if that's considered an upset, I'm going with Houston. And then AK went with the Steelers over the Colts. That's another good one too.
That'd be an upset, all right.
Huh?
That'd be an upset, all right.
You don't have your Steelers winning today?
No, I don't see how I could, with a clean conscience, pick the Steelers today, man. The Colts are playing way too good. The Steelers' defense looks like Swiss cheese right now. They only have 2 healthy safeties going into this game, and one of them they just traded for on Thursday. So, yeah, take the over on the Colts. Take the over on Indiana Jones passing yards today. Tyler Warren receiving yards. I don't see Pittsburgh really slowing them down today. It might get better in a couple of weeks when Kyle Duggar gets kind of comfortable with the defense, but he's going to get forced into it today, and he's probably going to look bad because of it.
So would that be your lock of the week?
I don't know. I might be able to find one that's a little better lock. Maybe the Seahawks over the Commanders, I could see being a little bit better lock. Seahawks are playing some real good football right now.
All right. Bo will be happy with that one. Big C, what about you? Who's your lock of the week?
Lock of the week, I am going to say the Chargers over the Titans.
Yeah. Nikki, what about you?
Lock of the week, I'll take the Rams over the Saints.
Okay. And my lock, I need to look at the schedule one more time. Nah, I'm not going that route. I don't want to go the easy route either. You know what? I'm going Rams over Saints. I'll copy Nikki on that one. Yeah. All right. Let me go to the predictions here, and then we can head on out. So let me go here, and then share this tab instead, and just go. We're gonna go here, and then just scroll down. All right. First game: Bears at the Bengals. Why'd I go Bengals? I'm trying to think. Why did I go Bengals? All right. James, go for
I'll
it.
tell you why. I'll go Bengals because every single time this season I've picked the Bears, they've lost, including last week.
I think that's the reason why.
I haven't picked the Bears to win a game and been correct on it yet this season, so I'm going to go Bengals, partially in the hopes that the Bears win.
All right, Nikki.
And plus DeAndre Swift is out, who's been the best source of offense for the Bears this season. So that's a reason I'd go with the Bengals.
All right, Big C.
I'm going with the Bears. Jake Browning's back at quarterback for the Bengals. He's been absolutely horrible. So,
Yeah, I'm trying to think why I actually went Bengals.
Is Flacco out injured then?
yeah.
Okay.
For that sake, I'm going. I'm going Bears for that sake.
That's a good move.
All right, the Vikings. Oh, you know what? This is my lock. Here we go. This is my lock. Lions over Vikings. There you go. Anyone going Vikings?
No, I'll join you on the Lions.
Nikki, Big C, you guys going Lions too?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. When I was doing the Eagles versus Vikings show before the game, the day before the game, and one of the Vikings were like, Mitch, what are you going to do when the Eagles lose 3 games in a row? I'm like, first off, we're not losing 3 games in a row. Now the Vikings are about to lose their 3rd game in a row. So I'm like, haha, I flipped it. So I'm like, there you go. How does that feel now? Panthers at the Packers.
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 Well, I guess Flacco is playing after all. He was supposed to be out.
Oh, okay.
Flacco is playing. Thanks, Vic.
Yeah, I guess he was supposed to be out though.
So he won't be
All
100%
right.
then.
I change it back. Everyone going Packers?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Chargers at the Titans.
Oh, Chargers.
Yeah, it should be an easy one too.
All right. Big C, you're going that route too? Probably, yeah. That was your lock, I think. Falcons at the Patriots.
Patriots should clean up on them today. They're looking really good, and the Falcons have been up and down, a little bit of signs of life there, but the Patriots are playing their best ball.
Patriots.
I'm going Patriots.
Niners at the Giants. I'm going Niners.
I'm going Niners too. Lost Cam Scatterboo is going to be huge for them.
I'm going to stick with my upset pick and see if the Giants can't pull it off today.
All right,
I'm going to go
Nikki?
with the Niners.
Okay. The Colts at the Steelers. I'm going Colts.
Speaking of losing 3 in a row, here it comes for Pittsburgh. This will be their 3rd loss in a row, taking the Colts today.
Colts.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
All right. Broncos at the Texans. The Texans was my upset pick, but I'm going Denver.
Yeah,
You
I'm
guys
taking Denver.
Yeah. I don't see any reason to jump on the Houston train at this point. They're not playing good enough.
All right, Nikki.
Broncos.
Yeah. All right. Jaguars at the Raiders. I'm going Jags.
Same here.
Yeah. The Raiders don't have much going on right now, so I'll take the Jags with you guys.
Is Brock Bowers back? He's been back, right?
I think he's back.
All
I'm going
right.
Jags too, though.
Nikki.
Jaguars.
All right. Saints at the Rams. The Saints got 1%.
That's the family members of the Saints players, and that's about it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone could really expect the Saints to win this one.
Watch what they do, and I'm just going to laugh. I'm just going to laugh now.
They're going with a rookie quarterback today. I don't know why you'd send your rookie against the Rams, but
Yeah, this is a lock.
Wait. James, AK said, okay. Oh, shut up, James. Be positive.
As soon as they give me a reason to be positive, AK, I will. But right now, man, that defense looks atrocious.
All right. Chiefs at the Bills. I'm going Bills.
I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going Kansas City today too. I think that Buffalo defensive line is going to get exposed today. They've had a real rough season with stopping the run so far.
yeah, I'm going Chiefs too.
All right, come on, Bills. Seattle at Commanders. I'm going Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely Seattle.
I'm going Commanders.
All right. Cardinals at the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost 2 in a row. So, should I stick with Dallas? Nah, I'm going Arizona. Arizona.
I said this is the upset alert.
Yeah, you did. Does that mean you're going with Arizona?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take the Cowboys just because that offense is just scoring a boatload of points right now. Just their defense is atrocious. I feel the similarities to Pittsburgh are just too scary there, but I think that the Cowboys offense is going to score too many points for the Cardinals in this one.
All right. Big C.
I agree. That Dallas Cowboys defense is horrible, but I just think they score too many points for Arizona to keep up with.
Can someone pick up that phone, please? Yeah, we still have a house phone here. It's still got a house phone. Thank you, whoever picked that up. All right, with that being said, guys, enjoy your football Sunday. Like, share, subscribe. James, what you got going on?
We'll have a recap show going on Monday. It might not be the most upbeat show on Monday, but every Monday, Saturday, typically we'll get you 2 shows a week right now.
All right, Nikki.
All right, we got episode 33 of the 3-Point Blitz, 11:30 Tuesday, perfectly suited on trade deadline day. And then at 8 p.m., exclusively on the Hardcore Sports Network, we got Pick'ems with me and Agent Warrior for week 10.
All right, Big C.
Just Finn Posse podcast, Monday through Friday, typically around 10 a.m. I'll be breaking down who the next possible GM and maybe the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins will be. Talking about the trade deadline and who could be moved before then.
Yeah. Yeah, trade deadline is Tuesday. I can't wait for that. And for me, guys, I got a new show coming up on the network called The Mitch Topsy Show, where I'm going to talk about NFL, NBA, WWE. Make sure you all stay tuned for that. It might start this week, next week. Who knows? Just make sure you're alert. With that being said, guys, catch you all later. Enjoy your football Sunday. Nikki, we get the day. Nikki, I was going to say we get the day off. He got the day off. We can just relax and watch other teams stress. All right, we'll catch you all later, man. And peace.